Is Vince Ryder here. I watched the BC one all the way up to somewhat the semis, and then I fell asleep. I mean, Japanese time is, I swear, whenever they put on an event, whether it's, especially I noticed this, from experience from whatever Japanese has going on there, a premiere, like especially in the gaming space. If you ever been within the gaming space, Japan would have like their these showcases for video games, aka directs, like Nintendo Direct, Sony Direct for PlayStation and stuff like that. And the thing is that one thing that when it comes down to Japan, I feel like whenever they put on a time like this event starts here, I feel like it was meant to torture Americans. I just know it is. Because my goodness, we can't stay up from 6 a.m. for this crap. We can't stay from like 2 to 6 a.m. Japan. But hey, some people decide to stick it for the BC one. So when it comes down to the BC one and their events and stuff like that, especially anybody watching it live, there's no choice but to actually watch. And here's the thing, you kind of have to watch it live or else in social media within the b-boy space, because I do have my own b-boy space within social media and Instagram. Go follow me. But thing is that you're gonna be spoiled. You're gonna be like, not wanting to know who's the winner. But the thing is that with social media nowadays, you have to watch it live, or else you'll be, spoiled. It's kind of like one of those instances where it's like, crap, I don't want to. I can't imagine having a big audience. Imagine me with 100,000 subscribers, all dedicated to b-boying. I had a dream of that one time, okay? And, well, I don't. So, there you go. Reason why I don't do these commentaries and b-boy topics anymore, because no one's watching it. But if somebody was there to watch it, I guarantee you would get like a lot of, people anticipating you watching it. And the thing is, here in California time, if I watch it all the way through, I don't know if I would make it. I barely made it through quarterfinals, and I was watching it through, Domke, B-boy Domke, and pretty much he's operating East Coast time, and over there it's late. It's like really late, and he has to get up early for something. And I'm like, bro, you're torturing yourself, man. You don't need to go up all the way. And I think you're like made it all the way to the end and stuff like that. And it's like, I can't imagine that. That sounds like terrible. Like, it's not even worth it. But the thing is that he's one of the b-boys that do have a b-boy audience that probably has expectations of him reacting. Maybe a good amount of them like, hey man, do what you have to do. Don't really care about none of that. But the thing is that if he has like, like we're talking about b-boy audiences with like up to the thousands in terms of, when it comes down to reacting and doing commentary and stuff like that within any event. And BC1 is one of the biggest. I just cannot stay up that late. I couldn't do it. I tap out around the semis or something like that. I know who won, but the thing is, whoever won is probably the Japanese winners, because, well, who's freaking surprised? What is it, Rico or whatever? Issen won. It's so funny. Issen won. He beat Amir. Amir left the belt, and I'm going to get into that much more. That Amir, what the heck was that? What was he? The thing is that he was proving a point. But it also kind of worries me, because it does showcase something that I kind of been saying for the longest time. And I have huge respect for B-Boy Amir, one of the champions of the BC1. I think 2004, I forget what year. Okay, I don't know what year or something. I don't know, man. It's some year or something in Poland, whatever their BC1 had it. But Amir, B-Boy Amir from Kazakhstan won. And yeah, he came back to this BC1 competing, like he usually does. At first I was like looking like, him walking to the stage, and he was flexing at first. At least that's what I thought, because he was showing his belt, like, yeah, this is my belt or whatever. Little did I know that it was him returning the belt. Like, he doesn't want it. And I don't know who has the belt. Of course, we saw Isin has the belt when he was over there. And also, mine, a little quick note here. I think Isin and Amir had a little fussle online or something like that. Like, I don't know. Like, this is from what I heard. And this is from some comment from Domkey's chat because I was watching through Domkey's live stream. I like to watch stuff through reaction and stuff like that. And, especially how long they're going to go and me talking about the event. I guess that's the closest equivalent. Like I was just talking to Donkey around when when he was live streaming stuff like that. And I think he mentioned one of the comments saying something like, "Oh, Isan and Amir having some beef or whatever," and it kind of looks like that because I don't know what's up with Isan. Isan is savage, by the way. Isan is very. I don't know if he's in the sense of a battle cat, but dude is hardcore when it comes down to going up against anyone. He's definitely a different person. You're definitely a different person when you're in battle compared to who you are like outside the battle. I always find it interesting. Like they kind of go into that. And maybe there's parts of me where I'm like that if I battle. There's parts of like, here and there. The thing is that there are certain b-boys here and there that are really not about that when they battle, but there's, a good amount, of them that are just different, from outside and from the stage that that they touch, and pretty much once they're done, like they're a different person. It's a weird, like, I don't know. When it comes down to b-boying, and the thing is that b-boying has made me comfortable being here in America, knowing how, I don't know if it's true, like you have to be tough and rough and tough nowadays to be in these streets or something like that. I don't live in the hood anymore, but I know for a fact that, there are certain people that are just kind of out there. And that's kind of like a thing in the West that you got to really watch yourself and stuff like that. But I try not to think of it, but there's times I am because, people are struggling nowadays. They got to do what they have to do. So I kind of sort of expect getting robbed in here and there. But the thing is that b-boying, or at least hip hop, kind of made me comfortable being in certain environments where I know it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like I'm safe or something. But I know that my attitude and, as long as I'm minding my business, kind of just like that's one of the aspects of b-boying that has inspired me. And when I see most people like that within the b-boying space that, especially ones that are, of course, Filipino, that looks like me and stuff like that, like eyes and logistics, I kind of see their attitude and stuff. And there's a part of me where I know it's from, their life and what they had to, get used to, especially whatever they've been through when they were teens or something like that. For Japanese b-boys, I don't know where that attitude came from. I don't know where Isin's savagery came from, but when he was battling, he was going at it. I don't know. Like, out of any b-boy that's like, out there, Isin for sure is the most savage. I could say Rayan for, and maybe in some point I still would say like Babylon is still the battle cat of Japan. But when it comes to other b-boys here and there and other b-girls, I mean, b-girls for sure are different. And when it comes down to Japan, and I don't know this, I'm not Japanese, but I know that, when it comes to women and from that part of Asia, they're different. They're softer, they're more nurtured and stuff like that. And it always feels like that, don't it? But when it comes down to the men, it's like, I don't know, it's different. I guess there's certain norms that are so different, but, I'm from the West and I don't understand, especially being from the Philippines. Like, I know for a fact that we are nothing like Japan. We are nothing. If I would go as far as to say that we're completely isolated from Asian standards or something like that. We're an Asian country, but the thing is that at the same time, we're not. We are Asian, but we're not. We're very like Himex, like Latino country at best, if we got to be honest. But when it comes down to being an Asian country, I mean, you kind of have to, guess like poor styles of Asia, but when it comes down to the Asian countries, like that's what I think. And I ramble a lot because no one cares. But also, Amir versus Isin, like that battle itself, what was pretty good. You see Amir not responding to Isin's savagery, and there's a reason why. And pretty much, yeah, he didn't really want to win. If anything else, he put the belt down, and this is when, like, still when Isin was still heated, because I have no idea what Amir said. Like, you just all I see is like angry Isin. It's so adorable when I see Japanese people get pissed. You know what I mean? Like, I know I sound like a beef fan, but when I see Isin, he's like a little mad Pokemon. You know? You know what I mean? And the thing is that yeah, Amir just left his belt. You know, he was composed about it too. Just left it, don't care about the judges win, and just like that, yeah, he was gone. And then after that, I don't know where he went. I really don't. I know he doesn't post a lot on social media and stuff like that, but he completely left. And I guess there's a part of him that I can relate that he was trying to preserve his love for the dance. I'm trying to preserve my love for the dance, and there's times where it's hard. There's times where I know I shouldn't do it, and when I do it, I'm just doing it for cardio. And when I try to do it for anything else, it's kind of hard unless I'm in my own imaginary world. And when it comes down to breaking, I love creating and stuff like that, but when it comes down to just doing it for myself, it's I don't know. There's a part of me where you shouldn't do it for yourself because that's what the stage is for. That's what b-boy events are for. That's what practice sessions, and I do enjoy those. But there is a part of me, if I don't have like my personal love for the dance, what am I gonna do? So I relate to Amir and him, and I didn't really watch the full 18-minute video or whatever he said there. I have to watch it a bit more and stuff like that. But there is more to life than breaking. Okay, I know that goes without saying, stuff like that, but there's something about that event in spin. When I went to Spin Control this year, which was like a few weeks ago, there is something just degrading. Despite me having a good time with other b-boys and stuff like that, at the end, like, we just forget about it and we're just done. And I think it got to Amir's head, and I can't help but see that, and seeing that it could inspire many other b-boys and b-girls to be vocal about it, and I feel like most people need to be vocal about their love for the dance, but also knowing like where you're gonna be, like knowing what you care about or something like that, when it comes down, especially a sport like skateboarding or BMX, or in this case b-boying. There's a part that you have to preserve it, because at some point it probably is not going to matter, especially if you have a job someday, if you have family, if you have other things to worry about. It's easy just to not care about it. But being in the dance for so long, that it's easy to know that, you know, you put it into the side and you completely forget about it. You're just enjoying the other things in life. And that's what I did. That's what happened to me when it comes down to commentary and stuff like that. Man, I was really talking to so many other b-boys, and b-girls out there when I was in my prime doing commentaries. But the more I grow up, the more I don't really care about it, especially when it comes down to the money side. Listen, I want to have my own bag. I want to have my own place. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to achieve. But when it comes down to really going to b-boying and having to expectation of fame from it or whatever, there's certain things that you have to sacrifice that doesn't make you happy. I can't imagine like going to the many b-boy events out there. I know that a lot of them could be different, could have a different vibe. I still want to experience those. But there is a part of me where this could get old real quick. I don't know how Phil Wizard does it. I don't know how Hong Ten does it. I don't know how Lilu does it, or how other b-boys, or even professional b-boys that are still trying to climb to the top. Like, I don't know how Jihad does it. I don't know how Kid Break does it. I don't know how like b-boy Jet Lag does it. The thing is that how do you still find love for the dance, and also, you over fatigue yourself with so many b-boy events to the point where you go to more b-boy events than you go to like the gym or anything else. Like, you have to travel here and this certain time and that certain time for an event or something. But really though, like, how does that even feel? Because at some point you kind of lose that passion. That could be literally anything. I kind of find it interesting if I see like certain gamers going to this event, that event. Oh man, you get to play all sorts of video games. You get to meet with all sorts of creators. You get to, discover different games coming out and stuff. But it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, it just feels all the same, And that's the same thing with b-boying. You slowly get tired over time. And the thing is that I wouldn't know. I'm not in the major b-boy space, and I wouldn't know. Okay, because I'm not getting paid to go to any of these events. If anything, I'm losing more money than I'm going to these events. But there's still events that I cherish and enjoy because it's something that I've been doing for the longest time. And losing that would just be detrimental in the ways where it's like, yeah, I don't know what happened, you know? All of a sudden, like, if I'm not good at it, I'm going to suck and I'm not going to enjoy it the way I want to enjoy it, you know what I mean? But that was interesting what Amir did. I feel like in many ways he's the most memorable. And it's sad that most people, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that are not talking about it. I feel like right now it's only me and Donkey, but when it comes down to the b-boy space of commentary and stuff like that, it is very, very small. And it's almost like there's really no point of ever doing it. I don't see spin control. That's a crazy thing. I see spin control. I mean, spin theory. I don't see Smurf talking about this. Instead, I see him doing like his, other stuff, his crypto thing, his 8-bit, NFTs or whatever you may call it. I don't know what that is, but he's doing that. And there's a part of me where, okay, I'm back. I had something I had to finish. I forget that I work online and pretty much I still have some stuff to respond, all calls and all that. But anyways, where was I? I completely forgot where I was. So let's just move on to some other memorable stuff. I know, like, maybe there was 2 or 3. I mean, first off, I gotta mention the first one. What is up with the promo between Street Fighter and, like, I don't know. Street Fighter is cool. I never played the new one. I don't have a PS5, but I make ways of playing better games that are morely in the indie space and stuff like that. But when it comes down to Street Fighter, man, I still stick with Street Fighter Alpha 6, or no, not Alpha 6, Alpha 3. But they're just promoting the crap out of Street Fighter. The thing is that they did set up an event like, adding breaking battles into competitive gaming. And there's a part of me where it's like, I don't like that. The thing is that if you're going to add that, can you just, eliminate the dancing part of it? It would be cool. All right. It would be cool to have like B-Boy Lee, B-Boy Shingekix and all other major BC1 stars and just go at each other's faces by just playing Street Fighter. Maybe I would like that better. But trying to add the dance and breaking elements into like doing rounds or whatever, I don't like that. Like, oh, he wins the battle. Oh, freaking Chun-Li wins. And then we go into a breaking battle. It's like, I don't get that. That's weird. Like, what is that concept? It's the most dumbest concept. I said it, and I said it many times. In my opinion, it's the most dumbest concept. You can't mix athleticism with gaming. Gaming itself, it's its own pastime and chill spot. But when you mix that with like other activities or something, that's not, what the heck are you even doing? Like, you're just making this all worse and everything like that. I don't like that. But apparently they had that alongside with Bonnie and Clyde, alongside with footwork battle. And I seen the footwork battle, so that was pretty dope. I know for a fact that whoever won it actually is a person that I never heard about. Okay, I will say that. It's a person never heard about, but apparently they won, so whatever. Congratulations. I look at box cut, I'm like, yeah, he's the one. I look at Complex. Complex was there, by the way. I didn't know that Complex still breaks, but apparently he's still there. And out of all places, it's Japan, not in Washington where he lives, but I don't know if he moved to Japan or something. I don't know what's up with that story, but yeah, he's there. And I know Spin Control just had their gym as well. I was there at the U.S. Spin Control qualifiers, and guess what? They had it over there in Japan, of course, alongside with BC1 and probably other big events out there, maybe. But also, what else? The Bonnie and Clyde, of course, you got like Ills and I think, they have to be. That they're a couple and pretty much a power couple at best, going up against like some other Chura and Biko Chura and someone I forget, but of course, it don't matter. Ami and Ills won. Of course, it just had to happen, and it's no surprise. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. The Bonnie and Clyde is something that I want to see the other battles within it, but it just doesn't show. So that's just great. But yeah, Ills and Ami, Japan and Canada. And speaking of Canada, apparently the next BC one is going to be in Canada. So that's crazy. It's going to be in Toronto. I feel like there needs to be a time where, BC one needs to stop saying these events in places that are just not in the US or not in the Americas, I would say. And when I say, and especially Northern America, like this is the closest we're gonna have. I know they have it in New York, but in Canada, there's a part of me where it's a much more lighter vibe. And now they have to rely on really bringing the energy, but not really. Because the thing is, when I think about like, are they gonna adapt Canadian culture or something like that? I wonder what Phil Wizard thinks about that. You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna be interesting or something or not? I don't know, but I'm kind of curious what that's gonna be. But apparently, yeah, it's coming to Canada. I don't. Now, is this the one that I'm probably gonna, go to? Probably not because I've never been to Canada, but it's in here, like in the Northern American region, but it's still far because, well, North America is freaking huge. If we got to be real. Moving on. I feel like Carla could have won the Beagle battle. I was looking at her like, damn it. I was looking like, that was like a sick battle. And Nika, despite her falling, she still got some concepts apparently. I'm like, sure, whatever. Who else? Let me yawn real quick. I don't care. Yeah, logistics was killing it. I don't know what's with the mama jeans, but she really looked like she out here in the 70s for real. Like, what is, I mean, sure. And of course, like all of the American dancers has to be Filipino because that's how it is. It's just always like, I just keep noticing that, you know what I mean? What else? I like to think most times whenever doing these, I mean, I don't know. I'm not the type of person to tell you like, oh, he did this move and that move, did the way he turns and I don't give a crap. Okay, I do not care. Now, if there was anything more crazy, but the thing is, we could talk about moves all day. Nah, I'm good. No one cares. Nobody cares about like how I talk. Well, the thing is, my argument about Shigekic's winning is shut up. No one gives a damn with that nerd crap, man. Get out of there. Anyways, what else I got here? Yeah, I don't know if I should end the video or anything like that. What I do know is that there's something about the energy of this BC one where it feels like it feels less realistic. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Street Fighter characters. I still find that cringe, man. But yeah, BC one. I would add some more, but there's a part of me where it's like, do I want to add some more? What else there is to add? I don't know. Japan. I mean, crying out loud. I feel like Japan most of the times they have to be tired of having all of these foreigners coming in, and with this event, and it's just like, man, it's just never gonna stop. Especially with the Olympics. I remember that, but that was like during COVID, which was crazy. I'm out. One with peace and God bless.